Alright, vlog 21. Man, I don't know if I'm going to get through 30. I just don't have that many topics to talk about. But I do have one topic today I came up with at the last minute. And yeah, professionally I make video games and I have all my programming career since college. And there's a certain degree of debate about the health of video games or the mental effects that it has on people or the influencing effects. You know, the Columbine killers, they blame Doom for that, and anytime there's a problem, you know, they blamed rock and roll or drugs or sex, you know, or something like that. You know, it's an easy moral outrage that is. Speaks to people that don't play video games, and it easily can be demonized. However, at one point in my career, a few years back, my company was contracted to not create America's Army, but port it to the consoles, Xbox and PlayStation 2 at the time. And if you're not familiar with America's Army, it is a first-person shooter game, kind of a simulation that simulates ground combat for U.S. forces, and you're fighting terrorists and or terrorist-like people, and it kind of mimics the simulation of that type of warfare, and it is a promotional tool to get people to join the army. It is no simple or more finer point you can put on it, and I don't know. I think that to simulating or making a game out of urban warfare, which is basically what the game was about, and to kind of, when you die, you just come back to life and you rejoin your buddies, you know, and that's, even though it's a simulation, you know, it's not that way. You know, a real simulation would be that you died and it completely reformatted your hard drive and fucked your entire computer. I think that would be a more accurate simulation of warfare. But anyway, that's not the point that I'm getting to, essentially. Currently, I make arguably another ethically dubious type of game, and it's an online game, a massively multiplayer online game. It's called Star Sonata. It's a very small scale, but all online games basically work the same way, and they don't appeal to people in the same way that traditional video games have appealed to each other. They are more of a social status, social grouping, working with teammates to solve simple problems, basically, nothing incredibly difficult usually. And the main mechanism for the game is social stratification, where people that play very little are relatively low power, and people that can play extremely large amounts of time, you know, almost like a full-time job, if not more, are rewarded with more power to a certain degree. And that's the mechanism that the game revolves around. And that's fine in and of itself, but it appeals to kind of, I think, an evolved sense of ourselves in terms of we're competitive by our nature, I think, in subtle ways, or we try to establish pecking orders. And these type of games really exploit that, because you don't necessarily need to be attractive, and you need to be smart. You don't have to be, well connected or anything like that, or rich. You just need a computer, and you need to be able to pay the $15 a month for these type of games. And really the currency of those type of games is the amount of time you can spend playing them. And I can speak from experience. I played EverQuest off and on for 5 years. And I think that it really there's a danger there. There's a problem with these type of games that I don't think quite exists with traditional video games, and that is the social component. That I think that it easily can kind of, my real life sucks, but if I spend enough time in this virtual world, I can be somebody. I can mean something, and that maybe in and of itself is okay. But I think that meaning in an online game, I think, is an illusion, and it goes away when you stop playing, and it doesn't really have that much value. I don't think. Again, you're very distant from these people. You don't play with people that you know, or most people don't, that you know in person or anything like that, where you establish real life relationships with these people, because they're scattered across the globe. in many cases. And it strikes me as a morally dubious genre to work on and to make more compelling or more addictive or more access or create an ability to have more people spend more of their time playing these type of games. And I don't know. I guess the question that I have for people that have played these type of games extensively is, really when you think about it, what's the appeal? And then if you played it for a long period of time, do you really feel like that was time well spent? So I guess that's the questions that I have. And I kind of say that, well, I did have fun. There was certainly a very strong love-hate relationship with the game. And arguably, I look back at that as like, what the hell was I doing? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.